So, I'm Atlanta May. I use my middle name because if you search me, you'll just see a city. I feel like I'm like an amalgamation of many cultures and in between many worlds. I'm Caribbean, like ethnicity. My ethnicity is Caribbean, so I'm Jamaican and Cuban. My grandparents came to this country in the 60s, sort of Windrush era, and they went back home in the early 2000s. I grew up on a lot of funk and lots of soul, you know, so I have that reggae and soul influence from sort of my childhood. However, growing up in London, South London, I mean, I was born in North. I was born in Wood Green, Hornsey sides, and then as a young child, I sort of kind of grew up in South. Having that influenced your sounds. I remember the first time I ever heard gigs, yeah? My mind was blown. Well, how old was I? I think I was in year 7 or year 8, so I would have been about 11, 12. And I can't remember, I think there was some sort of house party. I went to a ghetto high school. There was some sort of, I don't know how we had this grown house party when we were like kids, but there was this house party and I think it was Look What the Cat Dragged. Look What the Cat Dragged did. And I was like, this sound, like, who is that? His voice is deep. So I feel like my music is a mixture of all those things. I'm not too soul, I'm not too grime, but I'm like somewhere in the middle, which is, you know, which is like, I think is a good thing, but it makes it a little bit difficult, I think, from the media side to market me, because I'm not in one set category. My project's essentially me. It's kind of weird, like it's something that's developed over time. It kind of really starts at the root. It's literally my story, my journey. I like to call it sort of the journey, and sort of my leading up to now. So initially, I've always sort of written, well not always, but I kind of started off with little poems and things like that to express myself and write. And I kind of wrote my first song at 9 for my big sister. Wow. I remember she was going for a breakup. So my older sister's 12 years older than me, so she's like a second mum. She went for her first major breakup, she was really upset. So I wrote a song to cheer her up. And then from there, it just became a thing, just what I did. But I didn't really take it properly, writing at least, and artistry seriously until sort of 16 maybe. Something I always did. I was in performing arts, musical theatre, but I only really focused just solely on music 16, yeah. My locks. So I've always been a person, if you guys know me from like, if you know me personally, I switch up my hair, or I used to switch up my hair a lot. I've had like long weave, I've had my own hair straightened, I've had it short, pixie cut. I remember I went for a Rihanna style. I used to pretend to be her cousin, people used to actually buy it. I've had blonde, I've just done a range of things, braids, whatever. But I got locks because I felt like I needed to challenge myself. I used to think about my hair a bit unhealthily. You know, like I would get my hair done and then be like, what's my next hairstyle? Like I would legit be like, right, hair, you know, it was a bit too much. And I felt like, I used to wear my hair straight most of the time, and I had my hair was quite long, straightened. And one day I was just a bit like, why do I straighten my hair? I asked myself this, because I don't know, I think it's important. My mum's a psychologist, so that's made me always question why I do things. It's important to understand yourself. I said, oh, why do I straighten my hair? Because it looks nicer. I thought, why does it look nicer? How does it look nicer? My hair is my hair. I'm going through all this longness, burning up my scalp to straighten it. Like, why does it look nicer? Who told me that? Why do I think that? And I realised, as I looked deeper, I realised that that was something I was conditioned to think and believe. And I just thought, no, allow it. I like that you're deeper than that. You're not going to be told what you think is beauty or what isn't. And then I thought, do you know what, I'm going to locks my hair, so I can detach myself from that, and maybe I'll consciously understand myself a little bit more and be less about my physical appearance in that way. Plus my locks are banging. But yeah, it's kind of synonymous. I've been growing them about 4 years now, and it is very synonymous with my music. And because you don't cut them, I mean you can cut your dreads, but I don't cut them, so this is like a journey with me. So since music's been a journey all the way through, and a journey with my hair and understanding. But yeah, you know, there's not many singers with locks, apart from Kalala. She's dope, if you don't know her. Solange's friend, but she's also amazing. But I don't really know any artists that really have that. So I think that's something that kind of sets me apart automatically visually. I try to dress, I need a stylist, but I try to dress kind of like urban. I love print, so I like to show my culture like urban kind of print fusion. It's usually like kind of street. I like to be comfortable. You see, I don't like to be uncomfortable. I really appreciate and love the Fashion Nova models and stuff like that. You guys are beautiful. It's just not an everyday thing for me. It's not. I'll do it when I'm going out, but like, yeah, so my fusion is sort of kind of like retro, urban, centric, African print kind of thing. There's so many. I listen to so much stuff. Okay, so Prince has to be one of the first people I mention. Otherwise my mum would probably go mad, like, what? Prince is someone I was raised on. My mum has been a super fan of him since she was 12 when he came out. I love him. I think he is the ultimate artist, the ultimate creator. He's someone to really look up to if you are a musician, because he does everything. He plays everything, he writes everything, he writes for other people, he can dance, he's hot, or he was hot. Do you know, like, I think, you know, Prince is someone who's iconic. I also am a massive Lauryn Hill fan. I don't know if it's kind of obvious. She's born on the same day as me as well. Really, when I found that out, that really made my life. Yeah. I really love Lauryn Hill because she kind of is, as a Gemini, we're quite dualistic, and she does that with her music, and I think that's really cool. That's something I want to do as well. She's able to show one side of herself and then the other side of herself in one track, and it works. So yeah, Lauryn Hill. I'm also really onto this new girl at the moment. Yeah, she's made my life. I've randomly found her on Spotify. Her name's Raven Lene, American. She is incredible. Yeah, she's awesome. She's like, one of her songs, it's almost like it's like almost a throwback to the Motown era, but today, like, she's really innovative. That's my main thing with artists. I like people that are different and that push the boundaries of art. That's the whole point, so we can, you know, progress. Yeah, actually, I've got two. Okay, so To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. I love his dialogue. Like throughout the dialogue of the album is really cool, and I admire him for speaking out about things that need to be spoken about. If we look at people throughout history, like Bob Marley, again, another amazing artist, he didn't shy away from what irritates me with modern day music and media and all of that is that we have to shy away from issues to, you know, everything is sort of PC and to not really speak on those things and be whatever. But as an artist, that is what we are meant to do. That is our job description, you know, to give a voice to the society that's happening right now, to really showcase, to show people themselves. So I admire Kendrick for being able to talk about the current racial climate in America and not be shy to really talk about that. I think it was really cool. Another album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, of course, a bloody classic. Sorry, from beginning to end, that is a non-skip project. No one can tell. Oh my god, that is amazing. Even like the MTV Unplugged album that she did was dope. I'm just like, Lauryn Hill, you know what? I rate you, I understand why you've taken a step back, but we need you. We need you out here. People are sampling you left, right, center. We need you. So that's a great album. Let me think of another, third one. Oh, actually, you're not gonna expect this. I love J Hus. As soon as I heard Friendly, my mind was blown. I was like, this guy's something. And you know, ever since he's kind of come out, everyone's kind of jumped on his wave of sound. Everyone's starting to sound like J Hus, guys. Let's switch up. But J Hus, he's awesome. I love the album. And I was surprised that I would like it so much. I was surprised at the production level, the live element. I love Beef Daddy. I love stuff that has a mixture of real and digital instruments. Not of all time though, but let's just say recently, Anderson .Paak Malibu. I remember seeing him live, right? So when we saw Anderson .Paak live, I was at, what was it? Camden. He came to Electric, I can't remember where he was. I went and saw him live and he was doing a DJ set. He jumped into the crowd. Most of us were females at the front, and I was like shocked at his beat. He's such an amazing performer. He was on the drums and singing. The album is really solid writing. Sonically, it's really good. And when he came and tried to jump in the crowd and crowd surf, we're all girls, we're all just staring at him like, oh my god, he's so beautiful. And he fell on top of us. It was like a whole sea. Like on his Instagram, you'll see like you'll see just people on the ground and be like, that didn't go well, because he fell on top of us. But I was on the bottom of the pile, like I just hope he reaches out a hand. You know, he's a great artist, and I love Malibu. My next two singles, so see, we've released Kite Off. My next two are kind of a different vibe. Kite Off was never really that commercial.
I got time on my hands now. You sit by, so I stand on my own ground.
So Kite Off obviously is about cutting people off. It's about cutting negative energies out of your life, and it's sort of inspired. It's not really inspired by one sole person. I think it's inspired by a collection of people. Now I'm a person. Each different stage of my life kind of had people, and then it's been a reason to cut that shit. And you know, I think Kite Off initially, I wrote it initially about one of my exes. I don't have bare exes. You can't claim me. But about what, like my childhood sweetheart initially. That's where I got the initial parts of it. But then it's also sort of about the current relationship I'm in and friends. Funnily enough, is the process of Kite Off was quite long. I mean, I wrote it with this producer called Snyder7. He's dope. He also raps. He showed me the beat. I went to his house, he showed me the beat, and I was just in love with the beat. And there and then I just started came up with the chorus. And I'm a person, I tend to write a lot on the train. I came up with the first sort of verses and stuff on the train. I just thought about sort of isolation and things like that, because when you're in a long-term relationship, which all my relationships have been, and you first come out of one, it's kind of like, what do I do with all my time? I have so much time. So that's the first note. I've got time on my hands now. I have loads of time, and what am I gonna do to replace that time? And that whole thing, it's very isolating. Even if you've got loads of friends, like no one can help you really through a breakup but yourself. You can cry to your girls and be like, ah. But like really and truly, they're not gonna try. They don't want to hear it every day. Like girlfriends that call me every day about the same, like don't call me. I don't want to hear about it every day.
You have changed, could barely recognize you. Made it ring when you said that all love is through. I go down right deep to the basement, and my heart's under pressure, I can't take it. You get joy from my sadness. How you gon' come here about a lost kiss? Whoa, boy, what's up? And you know our time's got. You locked it off with me, so you don't get no love. Boy, what's up? And you know our time's got. You locked it off with me, so you don't get no love. Cut it off. Cut it off.
I was best friends with this girl, and she was dealing with this guy that everyone sort of knows. I'm not going to bait out names, we're just going to keep it very PG. She was dealing with this guy. Anyway, I don't know the full extent of the story, but it was a thing of they needed to cut that situation off. It was just a bit weird. And we wanted to sort of showcase that whole thing, because what ended up happening is things got down. It just went left. The situation went left. So I remember for ages telling her, you need to cut that off, you know. This guy's a bit obsessed. Ladies, I don't know if you've ever, or even fellas, you've met people, you've spoken to them, like you've gone on one date and then they're on to you. Like there's no reason for you to be calling me like this. There's none. I remember I kept telling her, he sounds weird, you know, that's a red flag, you should cut it off. And she kept being like, no, until she really realised that, yeah, it is. So the song really was kind of also inspired about that. So a lot of the second verse is about that. And then I remember we wanted to do a few party scenes and things like that, have a party scene, have me just walking sort of isolated. If you've ever seen the Emily Sandé video, I wanted that kind of, Emily Sandé Garden video, sorry. I wanted that kind of vibe of it. It's literally, you know, before I ended up releasing it as well. I released it April 6th. The girl that I mentioned, who was my best friend, we ended up falling out massively. And it was really weird because when the song came out, I was falling out, and I remember I was obviously inspired by her situation, like loads of different situations of cutting out toxic people, because it's really important. If you've got toxic people in your space and energy, you need to clear it out for you to progress, because if you don't, they're like slyly, without realising, and they might not even realise, and you're not going to realise, they're like a cloud to your movement and momentum. Yeah, because it's everything is about energy. Energy is something I really believe in. It's really important. So as soon as I stopped being friends with her, I got signed. I then got my publishing. The song came out, and it just made me think, wow. So you, the guy obviously I would have cut off anyway, but you was really the person that I actually needed to cut off, and that's why it's quite monumental. You usually write these songs and they end up speaking to you a bit later.
Cut it, cut it, cut it off. 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 Cut it, cut it, cut it off.
But the next two singles, they're very summery. Obviously, they're coming out in summer. They're like two different summer vibes. So I'm releasing two singles at once. Again, to show two different sides of myself. The first one is more sort of laid back at a park. We're kind of where we're at now. Imagine like you got all your friends, you got blankets, you got snacks. You got all the snacks. You're chilling, just that kind of. I don't know how else to. Yeah, that's one of those. It's called Be About It. It's just really a vibe, and it's basically about. Have you ever spoken to someone or like a guy, right? And they're telling you, yeah, you know, I'm about it, innit? And you know, they're telling you, yeah, and it's more really about being like, are you really? Be about it. Be about what you say you are. It's fun. It's about love. I write a lot about love. Yeah, I write a lot about love. So it's about love, and it's really cool. And then Pull Up, which is going to be the second single that's coming out at the same time. That is a kind of different vibe. It's very different to the stuff I usually write. I just imagine it in Ibiza or like proper club vibe, everyone, that kind of thing. So those next two singles, I'm just really excited to showcase them and see what people prefer, you know, because you know, as a writer, you have your things, you write your songs. You could be like, right, this song is a banger, it's a hit in your bedroom. Like, this is the song, and then you put it out and people are like, nah. So I'm excited to see how they both do, because they're both different energies. Personally, I think it's to create and to be myself and just offload, and also be a voice. Like young people, like sort of self-esteem and over. Just I've always sort of worked closely with young girls and trying to build up self-esteem. I really want to be a person that is a voice for that, but also a voice for real stuff, like talking about real things, talking about how we can improve as a culture, how we can progress. Like as an artist, I think my purpose is to really be to shed light on what's actually going on and be a voice and inspire people to do better. I used to be a teacher, probably which way you can tell. I don't know if I feel like I talk like a teacher, but being a teacher and sort of a thing like that, it was an extension of sort of my creative and sort of arts world. I think young people are really important, that they're the future, and I want to be able to change the course about some young people's decisions and girls' decisions and how they view themselves and stuff like that. Being a teenage girl, right, in a hood school and being a late bloomer, it's hard because the boys would just chat, and it's not even just the boys, the girls as well. So I just want to make other young girls and young people just feel confident and feel real and, you know, think deeper. I think the goal for 2018, 2019 is to think deeper, be deeper.